We've always said everyone in our program is chosen on merit. It's a team, and teams are all about people, and it's bringing all those people together. We're genuinely trying to get the best people together to build this team. You know, we've got good drivers. Can't wait to see them on track for the first time.
Graeme, great to see you in a Formula One paddock. Great to see you in the Cadillac Formula One team, Brandon, as well. Huge kind of steps it feels for the team recently announcing your two drivers. Just generally, It feels like everything is ramping up.
Yeah, and you know, there's a real sense of excitement in our many locations that the team has as well. I think getting the drivers on board is always a really key point for everyone. You know, everyone in the team, you know, really focuses on the drivers. It is a team sport, as we know, but every sport has to have heroes, and the drivers are quite rightly the heroes. So great to get that announcement, really well received internally within the team, and you know, it's just another step towards Melbourne 26.
I mean, you're no stranger to bringing Formula One teams into the sport. Does that feel like quite a seminal moment?
Yeah, it's kind of a rare skill set bringing new F1 teams in, but it is an important one, and you know, and it was great to see the reaction of the drivers as well. Obviously, it's clear for everyone we've gone for experience with Valtteri and Checo. You know, between the two of them, they've got 106 or so podiums, 16 race wins. But when we told each driver, there was that spark of excitement as well. And for me, that's what I look for. And then, you know, we look for their enthusiasm, because if you have an enthusiastic driver lineup, that helps gel everything together. And that's what we're building now is it's a team, and teams are all about people, and it's bringing all those people together.
Yeah, well, obviously Checo and Valtteri have had a year out off the grid, but how rewarding is it that they were so keen to join your project? Obviously it's a new startup, but for them to want to find a way back on the grid, they chose you guys. Yeah,
it's great, you know, and to see that hunger, it's really cool. You know, there's very, very, very few Formula One drivers in the world. You know, there were 20, there's now going to be 22. So it's a very, very rarefied atmosphere. And so you want to see people who are excited to be there. You know, you don't want to drag somebody into driving a race car. It's kind of one of the most rewarding things anyone can do. So seeing their energy and their enthusiasm is great, and everyone feeds off it as well. And you know, when we were selecting the drivers, that was one of the things that we were looking for, is the kind of characters who can help bring together and gel together a team of people. You know, we're hiring people all the time. They're very experienced. We've got some really clever people. You know, we're genuinely trying to get the best people that we know in Formula One together to build this team.
With Checo, obviously he's on a year out, so how quickly can he kind of get stuck in? Because he seems like he's been thrown ideas and wanted to get involved straight away. Yeah,
I don't think he will have forgotten how to drive, that's for sure. And you know, he's doing a bit of karting and the like, and you know, we'll have him on the simulator quite soon. We're going to do some testing in real world cars as well. So I've got no doubts that he'll be back up to speed in time. And then obviously one of the advantages that we have in 26 is, unlike a normal championship year where there's only 3 days of testing, there's going to be an initial test in Barcelona and then 2 additional tests in Bahrain. So 3 times the amount of testing as normal. So that'll help get him up to speed as well.
And with Valtteri, obviously he's been completely plugged into the Mercedes program this year, including 2026 development. How much do you think that will help you guys really hit the ground running?
Yeah, it'll help a lot, because you know, there's a lot new in 26, you know, in terms of tyres and power units in particular. So having an experienced driver like Valtteri who's up to speed on that kind of thing is valuable. Obviously the drivers don't get to see the in-depth design secrets and all the rest of it, but I think it's quite valuable to have a driver who's already, you know, he's kind of, you know, he hasn't left the paddock. You know, he's so this weekend he'll be in all the engineering meetings, his mind's staying sharp and all that kind of thing. It's definitely a plus point.
In terms of, you mentioned running in an old car at some point, I guess you've got Ferrari power unit next year. It probably makes sense to run with a Ferrari, does it?
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few different options of what we can do, because what we're not looking to do is test a car. What we are looking to do is part of our, you know, what we're calling the Race Ready program. Although I'm here in person at Monza, our team is actually participating virtually in this whole race weekend. You know, so we've got 50 or 60 engineers running everything that we would normally do in a race weekend, but just doing it in Silverstone and Charlotte.
The other announcement that you made heading into this weekend was that you've got Colton Herta on board as a test driver.
Yep.
It kind of feels like that's really leaning into your desire to really bring an American driver through at some stage.
Yeah, well, the first thing you'd say about Colton is I really like the guy. I've got to know him quite a bit over the last couple of years. I love his approach, proper racing. Some people would say that going from, race winning position in one championship and then into a test role, people talk about reputation or, whatever. What I love is when you have a driver who is confident in his ability and speed to make that change. It's exactly what we want to see. You don't want to see people who shy away from a challenge or anything else. It is the pure essence of racing, and I really love it. It's great. It's true he is American, but we've always said everyone in our program is chosen on merit.
Yeah.
If they happen to be American, because we're an American team, it's a plus point, and it's great for the fans, and we're seeing that already. The positive reaction to that announcement was huge. That's great, and also he's bringing an established fan base to the sport as well. So yeah, it's a really good move for him in my view, and for the team as well.
Some of the experienced people you've got on board, obviously Nick Chester leading the technical team, Pat Simmons there as a consultant as well. How's the car coming along?
Well, the good news is it is coming along. It's on schedule. We are currently laying up the first 2 race chassis. We built a prototype chassis some time ago, and we used that chassis to do all of the equivalent FIA homologation tests.
Yep.
So there's some very onerous squeeze tests, and also the rather dramatic impact tests, which is it's quite a significant test. So we've already built the prototype, went through all those tests. Probably the first team that has done as well, because obviously the other teams have got learnings from their 25 cars and 24 cars and everything. And so we wanted to do that to give ourselves confidence that when we're building the race chassis, we've got a high degree of confidence that we should pass the homologation tests. But now we're actually laying up the actual race chassis, and it's on schedule, and it's really it's cool to see. Can't wait to see the first Cadillac.
So where is that being built? Because you're obviously split across 3 sites. So where is that going to be built?
So our main manufacturing facility will be in Indianapolis, but obviously, we only got the entry in March.
Yep.
So we've got to build that factory and then put machines in it, and then hire the people to operate the machines and train them, and we'll work with various partners still going forward, but there'll be more and more and more manufacture done in the US.
In terms of those partners, you've got the Ferrari power unit. Are you using them to do anything like the gearbox or the suspension and things like that?
Yeah, so it's the power unit and the gearbox internals. But the gearbox casing we're doing, and everything else, we do all the suspension, everything.
Okay.
So it's quite different from other partnership agreements that Ferrari have. We're building a full works manufacturer team here. Yes, it would be easier to take more components, but we've said before, the ambition for the team is really limitless, and to do that, we need to be building this out ourselves.
And in terms of the preparations of getting the car running, you've obviously mentioned we've got Barcelona and those 2 tests in Bahrain. Is the ambition to do a shakedown as well before that as well?
Yeah, so it'll be early January. We'll do a promotional filming day, so the car will turn the wheels for the first time, and that'll be a great moment, actually. We're super proud to carry the Cadillac brand. These are going to be incredibly rare Cadillacs, hand-built, very, very few of them, and can't wait to see them on track for the first time.
And when you look ahead to next year, what are the ambitions? You've been here, you've done it, so what is feasible?
Yeah, the first thing to recognise is this game is unbelievably competitive. I've often said Formula One is actually a very simple business model and a very simple technical model, actually, because you download it. Anyone watching at home can download all of the regulations off the internet. But there lies the problem. You have 11 teams, previously 10 teams, competing on exactly the same set of regulations. They can't invent a different kind of car or anything else like that. The regulations are super tight, and so the competition is absolutely insane and intense, and we have to recognise that. And I guess the way I've try and communicate to other people is, imagine if you're one of these existing teams, all of them have been doing this for at least 10 years, if not significantly longer. If a new team were to come in and immediately be competitive against them, then you'd be pretty upset and pretty angry. So, we know it's a huge challenge. It's very difficult to quantify what success can look like, other than, we just have to execute as well as we possibly can. Gain respect from the other competitors. I think that's always the first target, because if we do that, then we know that we will be doing a good job.
And with that all in mind, and the challenge that lies ahead, what's the greatest ambition? How quickly do you think you can be in competitive form?
Well, the honest answer is I've no idea, and that's not a flippant answer in any way. And the reason for that is it kind of shows respect for the sport. The sport is so difficult and so competitive, and I've seen every single one of the team principals here being asked a question about how competitive they think they'll be the following year or whatever, and 9 times out of 10 the answer's always wrong, because you don't know. We just have no idea, other than we have to push as hard as we possibly can. We want our owners and investors to be proud of the team. We want the fans to support it, and we just got to work towards all of that. And if we just focus on taking care of the detail, then the performance will come. We've got clever people, we've got good drivers. We know how to do this game, and so rather than kind of guessing where we're going to be, we just focus on the job in hand, and the results will follow.
Awesome. Well, Graeme, thank you very much for your time. Excited to see the first Cadillac Formula 1 car on the grid next year.
Yeah, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Great,
Thanks.
Sir.